Hey folks, Brandon here. It's like 5 something inside in the morning, slowly getting light. I got the automatic light right here above me, so it's still dark enough for that to be on. So you know it's pretty gosh darn late and dark outside. Although it's about pretty early, pretty soon, it's still pretty dark. And I've just been reflecting on something that happened either earlier this month, if not near the end of last month, okay? So I have the playlist, guest appearances on my YouTube channel. One was my old classmate Arthur from high school. I know him a little more before high school, but it's mainly the date I relate to most of knowing him around was high school. And we got to talking and whatnot, that day, and did videos and all that. The first thing I wanted to do, I know he said he wanted me to show him that one day before he was interested in, was the stick fighting, the screamer. Something I have been training with more off than on, though, sadly. But not so off I can't do nothing. I have no skill at all set as far as practicing that I've learned about my body with and whatnot. He wanted me to show him that, so we got some sticks and we done, play sword fighting instead of like stick fighting, which I still don't know how to do yet. I know how to do to play starting off sword fighting, I call it, version of it, which the martial arts I'm training for with these sticks basically later on end up being a martial arts and people trying to learn sword fighting. So yeah, and him for the first time doing it actually impressed me a little more than I expected, because I was still looking at him as the old Arthur, the Arthur I knew before, the Arthur I wouldn't expect to come as close as he did to me. He done almost as good as John, if not just as good as John. John is a friend or no, what's the right word? No, not that. Acquaintance. How do you pronounce that, whole minute? Acquaintance, there we go. I kept on thinking start with a C, but really he's an acquaintance of mine. It's almost basically my friend. He lives across the road diagonally that way. Okay, or at least he used to. He lives with some other people now at the moment, some different people he's friends with, he's staying with at the moment. But anyway, Arthur's never done this before. Some people did an act, or some people don't, but it still surprised me. So, because of that, it made me unintentionally, drove me harder. And you keep reminding me, hey, you said it's a light sparring match. Oh, yeah, you're right, that's right. My adrenaline got up, and I got kind of excited a little bit. But at the same time, I was disappointed in myself. Not really the fact that he was keeping up with me, the fact that in the video, I did a terrible explanation of saying what happened when he said he thought he was more creative, because that move, I've done videos since then talking about I did a terrible job, more egotistical, I guess I could say, talking about it, because I just was not in the right mind, was not in the right centering of myself. I was probably saying what I was feeling and not really saying it the way I should be saying it, and being truthful, being fair about being a good person, instead of just letting them bad thoughts take over and be truthful as can be of how bad I was at that moment. So, we have that, alright? And one of the things I missed by explaining inside another video, but I said I explained inside a bad way, is that when I tried explaining when he said he thought he was more creative, everything he done, I knew existed. I just never used it that much, because John is still more quicker at hitting. He's not a person that tries that. I was more used to that type of style fighting than John. Somebody's pulling in my yard. I need to just crouch down for a moment. Okay, I had to get my dog back to the porch. I'm not sure who I was driving by. Maybe it was the Howard people that live down there. Don't know. Okay. The Howard and Nick Knock people, to be exact. Anyway. So yeah. What was I saying? Oh yeah. And when we got talking about when he got me on the shoulder, well, I thought he was going to go for my leg. See? We got in a conversation where I was saying, Arthur, I keep on hitting your leg. Are you even going to hit, mine? Or like, oh, your leg's out there, so it's obvious. I said, well, Arthur, how many haven't hit it yet? He said, oh, you'll know what I'm going for, basically. And then he looked at, I thought he really was. I thought he was going to be the old Arthur that would have done that. You know, that would have right after he said it. But he didn't. He went to my shoulder. I was trying to go down, he went up. And I did a terrible explanation of talking about that. But the knife fighting. Years ago, when he started, he was already doing track, but he started in boxing a little bit, started asking, I guess, them to train him in that. And I had on Crocs, like I got right now. As we speak, I have on Crocs. That's the type of footwear I'm wearing. I don't think y'all can really, and these are new pants, by the way, so I'm not as flexible as usual. Hold up. I really don't want to get my sock wet, but these are the exact same pair. Okay. This is it right here. It's what I was wearing. Okay. We was down at John Weatherford's, which is across the field that way. Not diagonally, but a little bit more diagonally towards the, wherever that region of the direction is at. I can't remember at the moment. So over there, not fully diagonally across from my yard, but a little bit more over. Okay. We was in between John Boy's little barn shack and this light post, and I was going to show her the difference between trying to go forward out with your body and bring your arm instead of just bending a little bit over and just kicking them in the shin with your leg, keeping them back with your legs. Back then, I did not learn how to control the weight, momentum of my body, except maybe why it hurt worse. If I did that on Arthur's shin, and it hurt so bad, he immediately said it hurt so bad and asked me not to do it to him again. And then another time with a boot, my 5'11" A-type boots, and it didn't even faze him. But even though, you know, I was still expecting the same old Arthur. I already had that mindset inside my mind. I was using an example I seen from a Nick Drossos video, you know. I think it kind of caused her to think, oh, that doesn't work the way he showed that and demonstrated that. No, it does. It just depends on who's using it, okay? You know, so I kicked them decently, you know, whatnot, pretty much. But then he said, then he showed me, if you really want to take a knife in somebody's hand, he grabbed my arm right here and put both points under, that's how you're supposed to take out the hand. Something he said like that, not similar. But he's basically saying that was a good way to do it. I thought, oh, that's stupid. All I got to do is reach right here and then jab, 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 stab, stab, stab. And you did. If it was a real knife fight, you know? And I still wasn't quick as Nick to parry and all that. I wish I could have been. I'm just not have the quickness for that. I'm not trained my speed and everything, my line like Nick has to do that. And when I mean Nick, I mean Nick Drossos. Alright? I wanted the videos put on YouTube, post one on Facebook, tag the person that taught Arthur boxing, Mr. Bobby Parker Jr. And he said we both was talking stuff we didn't know. Arthur was only talking about boxing, not me. I was talking about stuff that I knew of, that I was messing around with. And he gave me some advice and whatnot, saying, well, don't talk about stuff you don't know, basically. But I wasn't doing that. So that's all the stuff I had with Arthur. Alright, folks. See you around.